It's official, the XM7, XM250, and XM157 next generation squad weapons are no more. The U.S. Army has officially announced type classification approval for this NGSW program. In an official press release, Project Manager Soldier Lethality team stated, quote, "This milestone reflects our commitment to delivering cutting-edge capabilities that give our soldiers the tactical advantage and lethality required on the battlefield." So I have a question for Project Manager Soldier Lethality, or rather several. Throughout history, most of the time, equipment implementation has largely lagged due to soldier inability to use. Militaries eventually developed schools of musketry to address this issue in the mid-19th century.
Before receiving training in musketry, the individual soldier should have completed thorough training in rifle marksmanship. This should be followed with a thorough course in automatic rifle marksmanship. Musketry training is divided into 5 consecutive steps. These are range estimation, target designation, landscape target firing, rifle fire and its effect, field firing.
When rifled arms were first common issue in the mid-19th century, most reports found that engagements continued at smoothbore distances because neither the soldiers nor the commanders knew how to fully implement use of this new capability. Schools of musketry would be formed shortly thereafter as a way to teach this capability, to get individual soldiers and their commanders to understand the kind of ability this then new equipment could provide. This continued through the World War II era.
The first instruction in firing at field targets must be individual. The soldier should be impressed with the fact that he must carry out the lessons learned in rifle marksmanship when he goes into the field. Hasty and unaimed fire is worse than useless. A soldier who fails to carry out the lessons learned in rifle marksmanship will not attain results. The soldier firing at this target did not carry out the lessons learned in rifle marksmanship, and the fire team to which he belongs will be unable to efficiently use its firepower in battle.
The United States had some 16 million personnel in uniform during World War II. This meant that a lot of the previous training approaches were abbreviated. Musketry got dropped because we just focused on basic marksmanship. Data post-World War II and through Korea found that most small arms engagements rapidly declined after 100-meter distances and rarely went anywhere near 300. It wasn't because the equipment couldn't do it. It had to do with issues on the battlefield. You have to be able to see something to hit it. And also whether or not folks were confident they could make hits at distance. In 1955, train fire was instituted by the U.S. Army as an attempted means to go back to effective field shooting. There were some great ideas in this program. Of course, I wonder why they didn't just re-implement the previously done musketry program that had been dropped around World War II, but never mind all that. The main failure with train fire was the fact that anytime they made a change to the program, it ultimately dumbed it down. Originally intended, you were supposed to do a full course of field shooting, which included having soldiers advance or move towards targets, taking up field positions as needed at the soldier's discretion. Of course, this means that soldiers need to be trained to a higher standard. So you got two approaches there. You either implement the resources necessary to continue with higher level training as needed, or you dumb the standard down. And senior Army leadership went with option 2. By 1980, train fire had been deregulated to prone and prone supported only, with no field shooting attempted on a slower and much easier course. It was intended to get a max score shooting M16A1 with iron sights. Since 1955, the U.S. Army has completely invested in targetry and ranges that only go up to 300 meters, with targets that don't provide any indication of hit location beyond simple hit or miss. There are almost no ranges that would allow soldiers to train using the M7 and M157 to fully exploit its use. So, Project Manager Soldier Lethality. What will the new M7 and M157 qualification course look like? What will be the standards soldiers need to be held to so that they can implement this improved targetry capability? And what ranges do you intend for this new qualification to be conducted on?